I don't think I remember the very first time. I think it was probably so awesome that some part of me has blocked it out. But I certainly remember singing with her, and I remember meeting her. And there's not only a greatness about Marilyn Horne, the performer, but there is an incredible greatness about her as a human being. There's something about Jackie that when you're with her, around her, talking with her, almost even see a picture of her, you feel everything's okay in the world. It'll be okay. You know, things will work out. There's a life force that comes out of her, a courage, an energy, and it's really an enormous, enormous amount of goodwill. Life goodwill, you know, and people with goodwill tell the truth. She's good at telling the truth, but somehow the truth is comforting rather than alarming. So I do remember very well and singing with her in this amazing voice and her amazing commitment to what she does. You know, it's a lifelong commitment, and it's one that is based on a deep respect and love for music that is her fabric. And she's never pretended it was anything else, which I think is wonderful. It's an incredible voice. It's an unusual voice. When I first heard her sing, there was more soprano in her voice. And, you know, when I've heard her sing soprano roles. And so that was what always impressed me, was this incredible range. But there are moments when she sounds like a tenor, and, you know, it's sort of commitment and power is how I think of her voice. A great devotion to diction and words and meaning, and an extraordinary commitment to writing, doing what was said. You know, I was lucky enough to be around a lot when they were working together, and I adored Henry. I just adored him. He was just an amazing, amazing musician and a wonderful man. So I saw their work process, and I saw glimpses of it, and I knew how much of their energy and devotion it took. Oh, I think so enormously, but as much from general ideas as specific ones. I wish that I had been a student in the days when she was teaching, you know. I did work with her once. I went to her house and she said, don't bother with this, do this. Get this right, now get this really right. No, slow it down, do it again. It's gotta be right, it's gotta be clean. And all those lessons, but a lot of them come just from her singing, just from the precision and the intention. Jackie's very much about intention. And one of the places I think she influenced me the most was in her recitals. There was a warmth and a generosity of what she gives to the public and what she has put together for them. She's very aware of entertaining, of being, and all that involves in entertaining, not just making people drop their jaws with awe, but really making them laugh, making them cry, all of those things. And to this day, I spoke to her, I spoke to her cell phone the other day, and there's something about that voice that she's right there. It's like present and safe. Safe. You feel like everything's going to be okay around Jackie. Yeah. I think maybe I'm guessing, but there's a bit of discovery on her part as well, how much she liked teaching. Not every singer likes teaching or is good at it, but I've seen her master classes for a long time, and she's like a caring nanny. She's a nanny for the notes, and she's a nanny for this human spirit. And she has a way of making kids know what's expected of them and what they can do. Because that's what teaching is. It's giving kids concrete examples of what they are able to do that they didn't know they were able. And of course, a lot of them would go in approaching it with, oh my gosh, I'm singing for Marilyn Horne. But quickly, that takes a second step to what they can accomplish, what music they're suited to or that suits them. And that's a big commitment on her part, an enormous one, and that she has chosen to give her life in this way and with all the teaching that she does is very typical of who she is, because I don't know how she would have managed to find a route for all that she has to offer. You know, this was a very obvious one and a sensational one for the world at this point, because I know in my experience of what kind of programs one does now they're very different than they were when I started singing. A lot of the German and French and Russian and a lot of these songs have gone by the wayside because people want to understand. And when I started singing, there were still vest pockets of a German group of people in this country, of course, in Europe, or French or Italian. Now that doesn't exist. The generations have gone on. One of the best things she's done is the surtitles. People want to know when the bird jumps off the twig or when the boy falls in love with the girl or whatever it is. They want to know just when it happens. It makes it much more entertaining and engaging. And you can't, half the time at my age, you can't read the program, so you can't remember an entire Schubert song with 5 verses. And that's been a wonderful gift she's given. I was sitting next to her on the stage doing my first performance at Carnegie Hall, and I was, you know, an ignoramus and fidgeting and looking around, and Jackie was saying under her breath, "Sit still and keep your face in the light." And I've been doing it for 40 years. It was some of the best advice. Just because you're sitting there and not singing, people are still looking at you, and it's part of your responsibility to perform. But it was, sit still and keep your face in the light, you know. And there's no way that you can't treasure that. Oh, I think her singing, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. I have a collection of her singing, you know, an EMI collection, I think, or a Decca. I'm probably making a terrible error. But I listen to it all the time, just to know the geography of a part and the intensity of it. And I just love it. I hear Jackie through it. I hear her. If you ever hear her speak, you know, the way she speaks at a lot, that's an enormous gift of hers as well. She's a brilliant woman, and she's able to keep much in her head. And her intentions are pure so that people respond to that. They want to give back what she's giving to them, because her intention is to honor the music, is to honor singing, is to honor kids coming up and singing, to honor composers, to honor the public. She's one of the most respected artists, respectful artists, and respected because of the way she treats her public. And she makes things become clear and sort of easy around her because she is committed to a perfection, you know. But it's not nervous or frantic. It's very clear. What I think of with Jackie is her laugh. And I have had the chance in the last couple of years to have a dinner with her in New York without she rushing off or my rushing off. And I just treasure it. I treasure what she says. I trust her opinions. I trust her judgment. I just have, she gives me faith in the profession and faith in human nature.